15 minutes should be fine.
Oh, well, yeah, but if there's anything like specific that, we haven't brought up together in previous discussions, feel free to do it here as well. But hey, guys, May VIP call,
Yes.
May Madness. Good to see you guys. We have a lot of new people on the call. Vracos, Zero. We have the usuals here as well. It's good to see everyone. So we've had a new show come into the channel in particular,
yes.
MHA. That too. But one of the things that we've done like at very specific points when we had a lot of new people join in and stuff was kind of just share a little bit about ourselves, kind of get everyone acquainted and stuff, because I think a lot of us here have spent like Matt and Lance and Cyrus and Gav, you guys have been here for well over a year now. Well, no, almost a year in terms of the call and stuff, but I'm talking about the Discord. In my head, it's all the Discord and stuff. But how about we go around, share like names and like
waifus, favorite anime.
I was thinking actually just along the lines of like an anime that you're currently shilling. Like you currently think the world needs to like get more of
even if
right
it came
now.
out like
even if it came out like 20 years ago, we don't care. So my name is Caleb. I am currently trying to shill everyone onto Haikyuu. That is my jam right now.
Your spirit animal.
It is really touching me in a deep, special place. So yeah.
My name is Jacob. Hi. And the anime that I am shilling, not trying to shill, I'm actively shilling. You guys have probably noticed
we
this
know
already.
This one. Yeah.
This is Silent Voice, because
yeah.
that movie is absolutely amazing, and I love it so much. Okay, wait. Has anyone here not seen A Silent Voice?
I've read most of it.
Okay, so we got two, and potentially Vray and Chaos.
Okay, you guys need to fix this.
Well, I know.
Well, what's Jacob? A proper shiller would give them a tool by which they can, you know.
All right, so you can actually, the whole movie is on YouTube, but it is like amazing animation, so I would recommend finding it somewhere in higher definition. But one of the best trailers I've ever seen, so if you haven't seen the trailer, watch it. It doesn't like give away too much of the movie, but tells you what the movie's about. And just watch the trailer, because that'll do a better job describing it than I ever could. But it is one of those ones that is an absolute tearjerker.
It's a masterpiece level movie.
The animation
really
and soundtrack is amazing. The story is amazing. And it's just been perpetually blowing my mind. So
I never had any doubts. It's Kyoto Animation.
Yeah,
awesome.
But,
all right. Who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go. Matthew, I normally shill Rakugo at all points in time.
We have. Is this a new evolution? What? Yeah. What is this?
No, I'm just adding to the shilling repertoire.
Ah, clever.
Everyone already knows that Rakugo is the best thing ever, and they should watch it. It just loses every single poll in existence.
Yeah.
I'm fighting really hard to keep it on like polls in general, but like.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as we keep having these 1 or 2 core shows, it's going to win eventually.
That is true. Right. Yeah. I'm really glad with the current revolution of shows that are getting switched to.
Well, and also as we watch more shows that are not shonen, because then we'll bring in people that are not just wanting to watch shonen.
In a lot of ways, I think the Haikyuu fan base, even though it's a shonen, brought in a lot more of the like people that are cool with the drama and the slice of life and the the other stuff as well.
Probably because Haikyuu is practically like a drama with a lot of like pull towards like both female and male audiences, and it's that sweet spot.
Yep. Oh yeah. So Matt, are you like looking up this mystery anime and?
Oh, I'm double checking my stuff.
How can you shill an anime that you don't know the name of?
I'm deciding which one to choose.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
See, there's a specific group of people, and Zero, Ray, you guys know this a little bit because you've been on the Discord, but there are certain people in our community that are like top tier anime enthusiasts, and they're like, pardon me while I peruse my vast library collection of 5,000 anime that I've watched.
Are you needing to decide between like currently airing stuff?
I'm debating because Hinamatsuri is currently on, and that was on the previous poll.
It was on the previous poll.
Yeah,
I
and it
really,
did
really
pretty
like
well.
it.
Okay.
It's like underrated in my opinion.
Gotcha.
Cool.
And now that you mentioned that, like, I'm having the hardest time like knocking down my list of shit to show you because like I mentioned that once and I was like, why is no one talking about the 70s and 80s anime? And you're like, well, what about a list? And I started going through everything because you know my journey. I'm watching every anime I can, like from the 20s up, and I'm on like the 60s now, and I'm looking through everything. And I'm like, all right, this show's too long. This show isn't widely recognized enough. This show needs to be a classic.
Mm-hmm.
This show is a classic, but I know the brothers wouldn't really like it. This show is good, but it's not good enough.
Okay. So Matt's is Hinamatsuri. Hinamatsuri.
I was deciding between Hinamatsuri, but also because Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card is on, and I love Cardcaptor Sakura. It's so good.
Cool.
Gotcha.
But you need to watch the whole first series anyway.
Right, probably.
Yeah.
So Lance spoke up. So how about you go next? Lance, aka Lunar Legend on Discord.
Yeah, I don't need to say my name. It's
well, right, but also then knowing like what your Discord tag is because that's not necessarily like obvious.
Lance, aka Lunar Legend, aka Jacob almost said my name on one of the
on one of the mail unboxing videos.
Yeah.
Which is all good, by the way.
Well, and I mean, you have it right here.
Exactly.
So.
But this is more for like VIP.
But this is a localized.
Exactly.
This is a localized
it's not
group of
for
people.
all the internets to see.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And if there were anime at the show right now, it's Yu Yu Hakusho as usual, and Great Teacher Onizuka.
That's true. You did jump pretty hard into that. What was that, a month or two ago?
Yeah, and it was like originally it was like we have too many longer running shows. We don't need another 50-something episode show. And then someone who knew me well enough posted the opening to me on Spoiler General. I was like, I'm showing this as hard as I can. I remember it. Amazing.
Guys, for those of you that for those of you that weren't around or that just
that
don't
was
remember,
one of the most legendary like
polls we ever had. I think Berserk beat Great Teacher Onizuka by 8 points.
Yeah,
like 8
and that
votes.
was after being neck and neck, like
for like 5 days.
This one's
straight.
ahead by 1. This one's ahead by 2. This one's ahead by 1. You know, like
there was a point I think where Berserk kind of was just ahead for the longest time. For like 2 or 3 days, and then like the remaining like 5 days or something like that.
Yep.
They were just completely neck and neck.
And like the unfortunate part of that is that's probably not going to be replicated because for a lot of people, the reason they were voting GTO is because Jacob's already seen Berserk.
Sure.
I think that's partially true.
But there was also some capitalism going on of buying votes and things.
Yes. But also there was a themed poll. I think that was the first themed poll we did because it was older shows. And I think if we did another older show with maybe an even more specific flavor to it. I think Great Teacher Onizuka, at the very least from its reputation, seems to be the type of show that has an audience out there that still remembers it with fondness. All right, so who wants to go? Who wants to go next?
He already took my pick.
What was your pick?
I am rewatching Great Teacher Onizuka right now.
28,
good man. 29 something episode, yeah.
All right.
Nice. Very cool.
I don't think I was there around the pool, so.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
It was. The themed polls weren't. Well, that's the thing. Actually, what show did it replace?
Well.
Oh, it was a new.
Well, but Berserk won, so it was about 2 or 3 months ago.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, we can just extrapolate based around how many episodes of
Berserk we've watched. Yeah.
well, are up on the channel.
Are
I
up
think
on
it's
the
like
channel,
I think
right.
it's like 11 is supposed to go up today, which yeah, we're having trouble with that actually. So that's no good. Okay, so who wants to go? Who wants to go next? I'm also thinking about this as far as like recommendations go.
Yeah.
So if there's anything you want to shill kind of to us as well. Hey, Vray. And since I can't do shill for the Waifu Warriors, like I do every time someone new joins the Discord, I'm just going to recommend Darling in the Franxx. However, I can't really explain why. This is best watched knowing nothing about it.
Well, we already know one thing about it.
I think we all know one thing about
The
it without
most
needing to watch it.
known thing about
But
it.
that's probably the least important thing in the
Sure.
grand scheme of things.
Probably.
But okay, consider Darling in the Franxx officially shilled from Franco's.
Okay, can you imagine though, Caleb, if we did react to that, and there's the family members that know about our channel, and
Something tells me, Jacob, that the reason why it's getting popular is because it's more than the meme.
no, I know, but can you imagine if like
Well, also, like, they don't, like, this is actually something really funny. One of one of like a cousin or something like that was lamenting. They're like, you make too many videos, like, slow down. Like, I can't watch them all. I'm like, okay,
that's okay.
that's cool. Like, I think if anything, we're making not too many videos. It's that our discussions are too
so
dang
long.
long,
Yeah.
and then they're like, I can't just sit around and watch it. I'm like, sorry.
Well,
Hey guys.
Hey, Max.
Hey Max.
I just,
All right. So we're going around introducing ourselves and the current
We did
anime
watch
that we're
Konosuba.
shilling
Yeah.
for people that are new and stuff. Good job, man of culture. Yes, we have watched Konosuba. I love Konosuba.
Yeah.
Rewatched Konosuba. It's fantastic.
Konosuba's amazing.
All right. Who wants to go next? We got Cyros, Gav, Chaos, Max.
Oh yeah, it's me.
Hey.
Do you hear me? You hear me then, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right. Game of
I love
Thrones.
that. Oh,
Wait,
yeah, it's-
that's not this Discord. Okay. Great Teacher is by me as well.
Whoa.
Okay.
So Lance,
All right.
when May Madness ends, you're gonna start the Great Teacher faction. That's what it is. You
Yeah,
guys can
basically.
all like chill like the show of the month, or something. And currently, it's like
Wow.
we embody Great Teacher
Okay.
Onizuka. 3 in a row. I think
Yeah.
I think they collabed before the shakeup.
Yeah.
I smell collusion. Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
all right, we got Cyros, Gav, or Max. Who wants to go next?
I'm thinking about which show to show.
Cyros is another one of those who's got like, I've just got so
Just-
many.
Cyrus, just keep talking. Your picture on the screen will do enough.
Yeah. Isn't that Symphogear? Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, hypnotize with a waifu. Hypnotize with a waifu.
Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, Gav, since while these guys are thinking, do you have one? Because the last time you shilled a show really hard, it was Saga of Tanya the Evil, and that show has
Was.
since ended for
And it was
us.
pretty good.
And it's pretty good. So
You know.
you're 1 for 1 so far with your overdrive shills. So
Let me check.
The word you were looking for is big brain.
well, see, Exorcy is big brain. Like,
Did someone call
Have
me?
you seen them? Have you seen?
now you speak up.
See, you have to know the words.
No. You just have to say, "Where's the person with all the titles on Discord?"
Oh yeah, hi, it's me.
Yeah.
It's Gav.
We should just choose a different title every time we refer to you.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't know
wondering,
why.
Gav, like what show are you currently shilling?
Yeah.
The kind of sellout answer would be Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, okay.
But we are already watching
but-
that.
Well, no,
yeah,
that's fine. He's letting basically people know, like, there's still people out there that haven't seen Hunter x Hunter.
That's
Jacob.
true.
We
That's
were
true.
one of those people. Like, that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
the,
It's
Kind of the
surprising,
point.
honestly. It is
isn't
surprising.
it?
Funny enough.
Yeah. No idea how we.
It's been out 7 years. What have you been doing?
Well,
It's the 150
it
episodes.
was
thing.
the number of episodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like You know, strange thing. I'm enjoying it more now that I'm watching it with you guys, but I'm starting to like really notice how much of a gigantic hipster I can be with this sort of stuff.
Oh, sure.
Because, like, the more people talk about how a great Hunter x Hunter is, I just keep focused on some of the things I still think aren't the best.
Like the little things that bug you, and you're like,
the little things that bug me, and I'm like, it's good, but stop calling it the greatest thing since sliced bread, please.
Right.
Sliced bread is amazing. It gives us sandwiches.
Right. I think that Hunter x Hunter created something brilliant because it continues to exist in a very weird way.
Because it hasn't been finished?
No, part of that, but I feel like the ambition of Hunter x Hunter is so great that it didn't matter whether or not it actually
hiatus for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. But it didn't matter whether or not Hunter x Hunter executed things perfectly. It was the only show that dared to go
there
to all these places. Essentially, you look at the way Hunter x Hunter is written, and it just breaks all the rules of. Yeah.
It's really written a lot more like the Game of Thrones books.
It's more like seinen-ish, shonen-ish. Hybrid.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. It defies the rules of genre
convention,
and it's not a perfect show by any means. But there's you
can't deny what it does.
Well, also you won't find, I think, another show that's gone on for that long that has broken all the rules essentially
and maintained quality.
Besides, if we are going to be talking about this, I think the bulk of what people consider the greatest part of the anime is like only ahead. So you still have it.
Oh, cool.
Well, yeah, I think that's something that we've heard in general was that people have like varying opinions on the arcs individually, and they kind of view them in like a kind of a designated lens. So we're like, all right, York New, one of, if not the greatest arc in Hunter x Hunter. I think it was Murder of Birds who I was talking to, who was like, if you were to like think about Hunter x Hunter, it's his favorite show of all time, even more so than Ruby. And it was like, if you could talk about Hunter x Hunter as a show, you would be more focused on the characters when you go broad. You can't really talk about like the story overall because it's so like segmented with how the characters kind of go through and stuff. But you could take any arc individually and that could be a show. Like, and one of them is a 7 out of 10 show. One of them is a 9 out of 10 show.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't wait for you guys to get into like the final arc and stuff. Like it's going to be crazy.
And
can I have give you a little tease about what's happening? Just a little.
We tend to avoid those types of things.
Yeah, they could discover some gnarly
things. See, here's the thing. Someone on the Discord described this very well. I am usually not this anal about spoilers. It's because we're doing the videos and stuff that we kind of have to be.
Right.
So
it's nothing important anyway. So okay.
Okay, yeah, but if you have a teaser thing in particular,
sure.
Just share it with the collective on the Hunter x Hunter spoilers part of the Discord,
sure.
Or even like DM some of the other people in the call.
Oh
yeah. Because we are interested in having the discussion about the shows with you guys.
That's cool.
But
who else?
Cyros and I believe Max are the only two that haven't chilled us yet.
I'm thinking still.
Oh, okay.
No worries.
And this may be obvious, but I'm kind of thinking about it. And like I said, I'm perfectly fine with having discussions about various themes of Hunter x Hunter and how well these themes are discovered. It's when people start throwing the greatest of all time tag around that's when I have a problem with it.
It's like, whoa, there's a lot of awesome stuff out there.
It's one of the things that I just over time I've had to kind of rescind a lot of my overreactive kind of hype statements about things because it's just like I don't want to be a critic. Like I can't analyze things that well and just state with any confidence like, oh yeah, this is the greatest thing of all time. I think one of the shows that I recently pulled back a little bit on that was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Oh. It's like, oh yeah, that was like one of the greatest anime of all time. I'm like, oh no, it's like one of the greatest of all time. But I think I was.
I mean,
it was
it's
talking about Steins Gate.
Yeah, it's an objectively amazing anime. Bro, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's just it's accepted by majority of people who watched it that it's amazing. So you can probably say it's objectively it's good. So
Akame got killed all the way.
And like even with that, for example, it's like when you're labeling something the greatest of all time, it kind of
feels like it dissed everything else.
It closes you off to all the other stuff in that genre. For one, like, okay, yeah, it's really, really good, but let's not diminish all the other shonen with potential greatness out there, for example.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's kind of like, I feel, have any of you guys ever played an MMO?
Yeah.
So you know the psychological feeling you get when you get really attached to that MMO, like that one MMO that's like yours, and then like 7 years goes by and it's like you still in your head or like in your psychological belief it has to be the greatest of all time because you've spent so much time and invested into it.
Yeah, money probably.
Yeah, exactly that. So I've noticed that's the kind of thing that happens a lot with anime is I consider Avatar: The Last Airbender to be the greatest show of all time.
Same here.
Which is probably not true if I was to like come at this with a more unbiased objective standpoint of things.
That defeats the purpose.
That defeats the purpose of it. So like it's the one that's the greatest for me. And one of the shows that's recently kind of been challenging that whole look at things is Haikyuu. Haikyuu just has a lot of things that it does perfectly, and it's not that ambitious either. So it kind of has this sweet spot of where
you know what you're going to get. And
I know what I'm going to get, and I'll get it. But would I consider it one of the greatest of all time? I don't know. Maybe like it's just a fun discussion to go into of like why do you like specific anime and what Avatar's best anime breaks the universe
because it is an anime.
I mean,
essentially an anime.
Like it's the closest thing America has to an anime out there. I mean,
and
and at least it's the most respectful thing that America has to an anime out there. And it's basically like a love letter to anime.
Oh
yeah, definitely.
Speaking of which, just as a something, it's not a show. It's just more like you can watch this. It's Nanatsu no Taizai. Did you watch it?
7 Deadly Sins.
7 Deadly Sins. Yeah, we are not super interested in seeing it.
Why not?
One of our other brothers watched it, and he seemed to really enjoy it. And I had seen like little bits and pieces, but it seems fun. But one of the things he said is he was like the ending. He said the ending was really disappointing.
Well, also there's a couple other people who are more like when we're talking about our brother. He's watched like 6 anime in his life,
right?
Like Attack on Titan and like My Hero Academia and like
one of your points is invalidated because there's literally a second season coming out right now.
Yeah. We're not talking about that.
Talking about the ending to
Josh, my brother's opinion is basically like not a thing when it comes to why we're not watching that show. We have like a super master list of things that have been recommended to us, and we've constantly decided over and over again, like, no, we actually can't show people this because if we show people the list,
a lot of them will end up getting pissed off because not for things like Nanatsu no Taizai, where it's like, okay, that's not super high on the list because
it's on the list.
I would be up for watching that at some point, but it's not something that I would want to like put on the show. And you kind of brought that up. You're like, hey, I just think it's a fun show.
Yeah.
But it's more like for if people see how Akame ga Kill is at the very bottom,
or where Tokyo Ghoul
or something like that, and it's like
to be fair, don't watch Tokyo Ghoul. The first
it's just that there's a list of popular shows out there that people have wanted us to react to for a while, and we will watch 100 other anime before we watch those.
Right.
And that whole aspect of it is where we will never really, with our system, we will never really end up reacting to a show we didn't want to watch.
Right.
It's the closest thing it ever came to was like in like very specific episodes of longer shows where we're like,
right,
wait, is Gon just gonna fish here for like 20 minutes? Like,
yeah, or with Psycho-Pass where it's like, okay,
is this a cop drama?
Like we've heard this is a cop drama, but people are really praising it, so even though we don't really expect to kind of like it.
Yeah, we never watched or reacted to a show that we didn't end up loving.
To be fair on that,
honestly, sorry, it's just this gut feeling. Probably you probably too have about shows or something like
Hey,
Jermaine.
Hey, Joe.
Hello.
Yeah, the gut feeling thing is definitely real, but it's also like specific people who are like close to us, who have been like the ones that introduced us to anime, like back 10 years ago and stuff, are like, no, do not watch this show. You won't like it.
We also listen, kind of like reading customer reviews on Amazon. You look at both the good ones and the bad ones and look at what they say. If people can just say, oh my gosh, this show is amazing for the 5 stars, then those don't necessarily mean as much. And then if the things that people say about it aren't just the box was broken, but it's actually like, oh, that could be a real issue.
That's too real with Amazon reviews, though. That's really funny.
Honestly, the way I see it is like I completely agree because I have this Sword Art Online, the new Sword Art Online. I just don't want to watch it because I just don't want to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
It's Slave Darling in the Franix. Everyone praises it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Everyone's got their preferences and stuff, and I want to move on to something else here because I will let Joe what we're doing. So, Joe, we're introducing ourselves
since there's a lot of new people,
kind of just first name basis, so that the rest of the new people on the VIP can get to know us and well. But hey, you're back. It's been forever since you've been on one of these, so great to have you back. We're also shilling to the rest of these members here. What's your current anime that you're like promoting or shilling to people so that we can all hear about it? We've heard Great Teacher Onizuka quite a bit.
We heard Darling and Franks. We heard Yu Yu Hakusho, of course. Hinamatsuri.
Yep. But yeah, if you have a specific show you'd like to shout out here,
and if you need to take a while to think of one, of course, that's really cool. One of the things that
I'll type it in chat.
Sorry, I don't think we got what you said.
Is my audio okay?
It's a little bit distorted.
Yeah,
I think it also might be a little bit loud. I'm not sure how you guys are hearing him. Yeah,
same. A little distorted, a little on the louder.
Yeah, echoey and stuff.
I can't hear anything for me because there's like a storm outside. It's very wet outside, like a shit ton of rain.
I mean, the actual slice of life has even not. Oh, by the way, my true show for this month is Slice of Life.
Not actual Slice of Life, is that I've not been watching anything for a while.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I would like to have a true Slice of Life poll. Like on the
with the Not Girls in Panzer and other among other shows.
How about now?
That's actually really
That's actually a lot better, yeah.
Okay. We'll probably do that sometimes.
Oh, no worries.
Ooh.
Yeah, hey, doing life. That's awesome.
Lady.
Well done, Chaos. That's awesome.
So technically you want an anime I really like for you to know. Something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know one. Let me
Okay, Joe.
It's called Grimgar of Fantasy of Ash.
Oh, you know what? Joe, you mentioned that one actually way back when. Do you remember when like the Patreon was infancy stages and we were still kind of bungling around with things, and you were like, Caleb, this is a show that looks kind of simple on the outside, but you should watch it. And it's called Grimgar Fantasy of Ash. I still remember it because you. Oh my God, Gav! Why are you so proud of that stupid picture?
Yes. Oh, Gav! Thank you. Thank you. I'll make sure.
You know what I'm guessing this is, Jacob? They're making the meme videos, and this is like the energy that's going to be
like,
Well, this is what got them like inspired and stuff. I think that's actually me, like, fake strangling Jacob right there. Like,
no, it's you holding out.
You look incredible. You look incredible. Honestly,
I look fantastic.
Gotta
love the double.
You look fabulous.
I can honestly add some like really big oversized glasses and like a Dungeons and Dragons robe, and that'd be ideal. Just ideal. Just like, I will kill your dragon with
unlimited power. With my +5 broadsword.
Yeah, exactly.
What's actually funny is, guys, this guy really loves D&D, right?
I do.
Like, he loves tabletop role-playing games. He loves... good lord.
Is that Matt Mercer?
That's Matt Mercer.
That is Matt Mercer.
Yeah, I know. It's terrifying. But, so Jacob plays a lot of tabletop role-playing games. He got me into it a couple years ago. The thing is, it's always been too intimidating for me because there's so many books.
You've already shielded Haikyuu, Caleb.
You've
already shielded Haikyuu.
Well, here's the thing. We're going to have a Twitch at some point. It's going to be like October or something. I think that's what it is on the polls and stuff. Hold on. I want to finish this real quick. Yeah. So what I want to try and convince Jacob to do is, once he's finished the book, mind you, once he's finished the book, because he's sworn off video games because he's going to be writing a book. But there's this game I found called, that one, Gav. Yeah. It's called Divinity Original Sin 2. It is basically a CRPG, D20 type, like, actual
nice chaos
game like that. But you can play 4-player co-op in a full open world, like, RPG with the D20 kind of D&D style system. It's just beautiful game. But even better, there's a game master system built into the actual game's engine.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Speaking of
D&D, cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, he said that sounds really cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I also had a really cool one shot that I played last night that was really fun, and it was one of those ones where like I know this is like, okay, random silly, and you know, who really cares about hearing about other like D&D things that people play, but
it's a hyperbole question.
But it was so much fun. We were all wizards, and the GM had the brilliant idea of, since she was going to throw crazy monsters at us, to make us roll a D20, and whatever we rolled, we would get to add one spell that we could use with the spell slot of that level for if you were that level of wizard. Everyone rolled 17 or higher, except for one person. One person rolled a nat 20, and then one person rolled a 16. So, and what she had meant to be like something that could be pretty cool and could have made it really awful if one person had just gotten like a first level spell and someone else got a 9th level spell. Everyone had god tier spells, and it was hilarious to just watch the looks of frustration on her face as she kept throwing harder stuff at us, and it's just like, oh, meteor swarm, it's all dead. Anyways, so there's that. Yeah, but
cool.
I still remember fondly the moment when when we had the setting up characters, and the DM looked smugly on all us and say, you will roll for stats. You know the thing at the start. I'm just sitting like, I just like grab all of my dice and I just kind of throw it, and I get all maximum. I get all 18s. Just on the table, all 18s, everything. And I was Yeah, I'm just sitting watching.
My skeptical monocle is like.
Honestly, I'm still not.
Are you sure about that?
I'm allergic to bullshit. I'm sorry.
It's not bullshit. It's a fact.
Yeah, see, when I make rolls that the DM can't see as well, all of them are 20s. Like, see that?
No. It was with DM.
With everyone there.
No, I'm just roasting you, Max. I totally get you.
That must have been. The other players must have been so pissed.
Yeah, because it makes it like, all right, I guess you're the tank, the healer, and the damage dealer. Just go forward and we'll kind of support you, you know?
Do you also have anime protagonist hair? Like,
can you spot the main character? Look at all those 18s on his thing. Level 1, nani? I have 4 modifiers on everything? What's his dump stat? A 17.
No, his dump stat is an 18 because it doesn't have any racial bonuses.
Yeah, racial bonuses. I forgot about those.
Oh my gosh.
What were you gonna say, Lance?
I was looking at like top 10 lists just to like refresh my mind on some like good slice of lives since you guys mentioned it, and I just realized, or at least I just remembered, how controversial the definition of slice of life seems to be in the anime community.
Yeah,
because people don't know what the hell slice of life is. I literally just saw Free Iwatori Swim Club and Yowamushi Pedal, both sports anime, on a slice of life list.
Okay. Okay.
You can make the argument. You can.
I mean,
but it's like,
no, like, yeah, slice of life does not mean there's no superpowers. But
Jacob 2018. Slice of life does not mean there's no superpowers / action.
I would argue that you can have fandom elements in a slice of life.
I mean, Trigger did it. They made a show about it.
Yeah.
And no, I feel like slice of life and sports anime is highly different genres because slice of life is casual, where sports of life does this thing where they he's drinking water. Look how happy he is. He's drinking water. It's like every action they're doing.
Yeah,
they need to give a fancy name to it, and just like, he's drinking water with his technique of yellow penis or something. It's like, I don't know why do you say that?
Yeah, it's all about genre is all about focus. When the focus is on sports ball, it's not slice of life. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not. Okay. Yeah. Have any of you guys heard of this manga? I can't remember how I heard of it, but it sounded amazing. And it's
Manga Sensei.
No. That started as a light novel.
Get good, Joe May.
But it was basically about a single mom with an autistic kid.
Okay.
And it's basically just the struggles of that.
So you basically see wolf children.
I see wolf children and a silent voice, like, and they basically had a baby together. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that seems amazing.
God damn it, Raycos.
Why?
What is wrong with you? Wait, so
I haven't watched Bill Black. It's probably
sorry, Cyrus, you had a manga page that you showed us. What's the manga you're showing there?
Okay, so the manga is called Genju Josai, or Mythical Beast Investigator, and I have like one huge problem with fantasy, which is like a very ironic problem with fantasy. And most of the time it's like fantasy is like all about world building and so on, but while often shows do like the thing of everything looks cool, but they don't go into detail about the stuff. And Genju Josai fixes the problem by doing it the following way. The main characters are investigators.
So they take notes. They take the details down.
Exactly. They go in and have like mythical beast incidents, like some beast is about to awaken, or some legendary creatures doing some stuff that they shouldn't do. And they go into the villages and ask the people, so what did you do at this time? And they investigate extremely in depth and see as to how the behavior of the village people could have led to the behavior of the mythical beast and how the mythical beast works with the humans and so on.
Okay.
And they go
awesome.
Detail.
So basically, it's something in some cases like, for example, a red dragon came out of nowhere and started to roast beef or something.
Yeah, exactly.
roast cows. They come in and say, "Why the hell is cow? It's going. You are happy over there on your pile of gold. Go back."
Yeah.
Well, it also sounds a lot like the elements of what made Pokemon, I would say, so endearing to kids was the idea of like, oh, there's all these wonderful, magical little monsters out there, and we're going to acquire them, which is, of course, the merch shilling for that. But from what's that other show that people really want us to watch?
Bible Black?
No. The one with the spirits and the guy.
Oh,
Mushishi. Yeah, that seems a lot like where you take the elements of Mushishi and Pokemon actually, and like marry them.
Yeah,
that could be kind of cool.
Thanks
for the shout out on that, Cyrus. That sounds pretty cool. What is going on in chat?
So I would like to change my show from Hunter x Hunter to Bible Black. That's what Gab said. And then Bray's like, change. It's the same thing. What do you think Krilla holds in his hand?
Oh my God. Make that meme happen, guys, in the Discord memes thing. Like, you just have to omit whatever is on the book and just put Bible Black, or you just have the vignette where Krollo's head is reading out like dialogue from Bible Black. That's like all.
Or just put images for Bible Black. Like
no, we don't have to go that far, guys. Remember the rules of the Discord.
Well, I mean, specific images.
There are some safe images, I think.
Sure, there you go.
So, I think I've entered like level 2 of my cursed existence because like you guys know how like I'm the kind of trash that likes to read fan fiction and such, right?
Oh, gotcha. Here we go.
Well, I've like because I wanted to actually read the source material of something before the anime eventually comes out. Okay. I decided to like pick up this light novel called Shield Hero, and I've already been reading like Sword Art Online Progressive and stuff, which are both light novels, and now I'm like this is like fan fiction, but like maybe half a point raised in like writing quality.
Oh my God.
So like I'm all obsessed with this stuff now, but it also like sucks because like Shield Hero has a really good concept and has like a lot of good elements to it, but the one thing that's holding it down is the writer is inexperienced, and like there are certain things. I'm not going to say he's a bad writer because that's kind of douchey, but he's just inexperienced.
You can say it. It's okay.
I know the things you say about the Shield Hero. It's basically like him. I don't know why he does this, but it's just something like he's a Shield Hero. Why does everyone hate him so much? It's just unrealistic, the amount of hate and amount of how much everyone wants to fuck him over. He's just
stuff like that without getting into too much detail, because God forbid you guys end up reacting to it in like 14 years when it finally comes out.
I have a very sneaking suspicion that things will be it'll look a little bit different here in 14 years. I don't know.
Caleb will be a father.
Anyway,
at that point,
reacting to what Avatar with my kids, like, oh no.
I would watch it.
Anyway,
I would watch it too. That actually sounds pretty good.
And then probably Jacob will become a Dota 2 professional player.
No, see, like it'll be the thing where we'll have kids on the video each, and then these stupid people on YouTube will be shipping our kids with each other. That's how like how stupid it would be. You know it would happen. It
would. But like, but yeah,
those kinds of things give me hope though, Lance, because it's like if someone can write a story and have it actually become a light novel series, and I guess get an anime made about it, even when it's just barely above fan fiction quality, then who's to say anyone out there can't?
Right. That's the point that I get from it as well. It is inspirational. There's a lot of shows out there that you look at it and you go, how how did this get greenlit? How is this making money? How is this successful?
Yeah.
And then you realize,
but it's
Japan.
I could do this part. Like I couldn't do the whole thing. I'm not an artist, a writer, a director, all those other things, but I could write this story.
And
why is the person with no video experience editing the AMV? I don't know. That's your problems, Gav. Go figure that out.
No, but in 14 years, it won't be reacting to Airbender. It'll be reacting to Bow.
Okay, no.
Like the whole issue I have with it is, like I said, I love all the concepts and stuff, and sometimes it really shines in certain departments when you get really invested in characters and stuff.
Sure.
But then you have issues where it's like, just for the sake of dialogue this guy had in his head or something, he'll completely revert character development for a scene or two and consistently do that. Or like, I swear to God, I have to check this again. Like, but part of it is like he got it's an EC guy. It's a fantasy setting, so he gets equipment and stuff. I could swear he unlocked an ability in like volume 6. I'm just reading right now that he unlocked in volume 1. And
it's like worse apparently than what's the guy who writes JoJo's?
Araki?
Yeah. Because apparently he's like super inconsistent with like plot points and stuff.
Yeah, but Araki makes it work. This guy just kind of the way this guy writes, I can guarantee you he doesn't take notes properly.
Or just doesn't take notes.
He sounds like me actually as DMing a campaign. Like that just
yeah.
Jake would be like, Caleb, we encountered this guy and killed him 20 chapters ago. I'm like,
Caleb, why does this human have when they're just sitting there, why do they have this thing that should not exist? That makes
it's flavor. It's
not aesthetic technology or anything.
It's to add ambiance, Jacob.
Yeah. Caleb, do you actually know the hit points of any of these bosses?
I would argue
details.
I would argue that like getting players into the heat of the moment and having them have a really awesome adventure is like priority one over everything, to the point where like if the players are getting so invested in something where they're like, oh, I do this and I do that and I do that, and like 5 minutes in, no one realized they haven't rolled for anything or done anything remotely close to D&D. I would try to keep them in that haze for as long as possible. Just drop the dice, drop everything. If they're having that much fun, go for it.
Sure. But if, that comes to the point. Well, anyways. But yeah.
We've actually had this debate. It's a pretty good one where I don't like the game actually aspect of.
Right. He just wants to tell a story. I'm like, okay, yes, but you need to have the game too.
And I like the game in a light version, but I don't like it when I'm like, all right, so apparently 12 attacks of opportunity were triggered on my boss, and he gets killed.
Yeah, and I think that D&D is all about the balance between those two sides.
Well, right, because it's a tabletop RPG.
Right.
It's playing a role-playing game on a table.
Right.
Meaning that it's your imagination and whatever else you bring to the table.
Exactly.
So, yeah. But oh my gosh. Seeing you guys in the chat. Oh my
actually,
God.
You should be attacking with a +7 modifier, not a +6, which they want to cover that's between you and the dragon.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys actually, how many of you guys actually watched the Getting Over It stream?
Oh.
I need to watch it in chunks. But
I watch.
I'm a bit tired looking at people going Super Saiyan over this game.
Yeah. Poor Gav. I think it was him and 2 other people modding that stream. Was it you, Matt?
Gav.
No,
it wasn't you. Okay.
I left Gav to die.
Yeah. I think for a while it might have been actually just Gav and one other person, because I was trying to see if Gav could.
Cav dropped in for a couple minutes.
Gav and Cav.
Cav and Gav.
I think I was busy with the Rebellion stream from Mothercore.
Oh, gotcha. Cool beans.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
I may not be able to watch all of it or be part of all the streams, but like I'm so elated that you guys are like streaming and stuff. Just more like varied. Like I'm never gonna get tired of the reactions, but I love the variety of content being introduced.
Okay, cool. That was something that maybe we can just bring up now because it's just topical with what we were doing here. One of the main reasons why we did May Madness was not the Discord events. It was not anything to do with the factions or anything with that. It was an excuse for us to try out dumb ideas.
Yeah.
And some of the dumb ideas involved some of the videos that you end up seeing. And some of them still actually haven't been fully put out yet because they're stuck in editing hell. But if there were any ones in particular where you're like, I want more of those things. Yes, exactly.
Keikaku means plan.
Keikaku Dori, yes. If you want to see more of those types of things, we listen to you guys like a whole lot when it comes to making those little kind of decisions and stuff.
You know, it's not for me, it's not even quite the kind of content you put out. Even that little joke video one of you made before, it's like
that was so good.
It was. It really was. It's just when you kind of get into a haze of, all right, new reaction video to come out. All right, find time to watch this, that, the other thing, and you get content with it. And then when you see something fresh and new, it kind of breathes a little bit more life into your investment into the channel itself. It's the fact that you guys are putting out different content every once in a while that I appreciate more than the content itself.
Right. So it's not what it is, it's the fact that it exists and it's different than the steady stream.
Yeah.
And you like also the interactive portion of the streams.
Yeah.
Okay.
The interactive portion of the streams are great, although like I think in a perfect world you guys can find a way to like just have a chat log of things that mods just approve. Like you have public chat and then you have
that's what Twitch will be. That's basically what Twitch will be. There's so much functionality that we'll get within that we could have an army of moderators. Like it would be easy. And Jacob doesn't know like almost anything about Twitch, but there's like different levels of chat to where we could be like, okay, we let everyone else see the regular chat, but we get to see all the the subs chat or the like maybe we give specific Patreons a role within Twitch for a Patreon level of support, and then it's like, okay, here are all of your questions, and then people be like, wait, where's that question coming in from that one Gav? I don't see that. It's like, well, there was a slew of messages, but in there was Gav's message.
I think that Twitch is in a good spot right now where the various things that you guys talk about or experimented with would work on Twitch. Like Jacob talking about the D&D stuff. There's D&D streams on Twitch.
Oh yeah.
So, he watches those. That's your Twitch experience basically right there.
Basically.
And I think that it's great. The only caveat is you have to keep to streamlined, moderated. Like you only see a chat log of moderated comments because your main job relies on not being spoiled. So unfortunately, just like make sure the public knows, unfortunately, we can't just react to the Twitch chat as it's going. They have to cherry pick comments that we can see.
Well, yeah, there's ways from being even so like abrupt with it around that essentially. But
I'm not much help when it comes to streams. I don't particularly watch them all that much.
No worries.
No worries. But we wanted to hear from some of you guys as well. Were there any like specific things that you're like, I want like more of those? Like, do you want more of Jacob's like goofy like dubbed meme videos or something? Was it like
I'll do my best to think up more.
Or like would you rather have like more like kind of little contests and stuff within the community? Would you rather have Like we don't have it up yet, but the waifu rate your waifus video.
Yeah.
Reiko's insert 3 Hunter x Hunter per week comments. Oh, the funny thing is going to be like when Hunter x Hunter's done, all those people are going to be like,
what do we do with our lives now?
What do we do with our lives now?
They're going to go straight to 5 days of JoJo a week.
Yep.
They're just going to add 2 JoJo episodes a week with 3 Hunter x Hunter episodes a week, and there you go.
Oh, Cyro's saying the dubbed video reminds me that the next unpacking you will be doing the first time you guys get something from me, thanks to Ryan H. Oh, cool. Ryan H is basically the coordinator with a lot of people for getting cool stuff sent our way.
Gotcha. Oh, that's why so many things seem to come from Ryan.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. 400 episodes per hour.
Oh,
there was totally funny story, guys. This is old news.
Oh yeah,
but there was a person who DM'd me.
Yep,
and they were like, "Okay, guys, I really love your channel."
Way
back when, like a year ago.
Yeah,
and they're like, "So Hunter x Hunter is a really good show, but the thing is you guys are doing it way too slow. But worry not, I will compensate you if you do." Now, here's the thing. They wanted like 35 episodes.
No, I think it was like 20 because we were on like episode like 15 or something, and they wanted us to go.
It was a few dozen. Yeah, it was like a couple dozen or a few dozen in a week. And they give us $500,
and they're like, if it needs to be more, I can potentially do more.
We're like, what? Why? Why?
The amount of editing required. You'd have to pay an editor more than $500 to do all that editing.
Forget the editing. Just the processing time of our computers running the editing software. It doesn't matter about the editing because we can just like grind it out.
But refer to me to that person, please.
See, Reiko's, you got to start a YouTube channel and just really slowly react to Hunter x Hunter. You do 1 Hunter x Hunter episode a month, like just to trigger all the fanboys and fangirls out there.
Yeah, now that you guys are getting a slow, steady stream of manga, I'm gonna start slipping in the manga recommendations along with like 2 or 3 other people here. And one day we are going to hear you guys mention offhand that you're reading this one manga.
Maybe
you do it.
Hey,
if you're gonna mention manga, I gotta propose the Fire Brigade of Flames. It's like the
oh yeah, that was great.
Oh yeah, the manga after
it's basically
from Okubo, who did Soul Eater.
Okay,
yeah,
and it's after Soul Eater, like it's the thing he did after.
It's not the same universe or anything. It's just
no, I know, but project. It's his next work.
Yeah,
and it's currently going on, and it's honestly it's saving the spirit of Soul Eater while adding some really fun concepts into the mix.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I bet you he's going to do the same thing he did with Soul Eater, because if you own the physical manga, he has the author notes, and in one of the author notes, he around volume 17 or 18 out of 25, he was like, "Oh, by the way, I kind of forgot that I only have 25 volumes to work with, and the stories, I still haven't finished the story I wanted, so I'm just going to have to kind of rush through these next few volumes to finish the story."
Oh,
gotcha.
Great.
Okay, so that's a manga recommendation. There was a discussion we were having in one of the recent Hunter x Hunter episodes, and we were talking about how Hunter x Hunter as a show has gotten to the point to where we don't really care what the future content is. We just want more of it because the world is so interesting. It's a very weird dynamic where kind of like how Lord of the Rings world is so well put together that the characters in a lot of ways also being decent, we don't really care about as much because the world just overshadows them. So we just want what's to the east of Mordor? What's the lives of the people in Harad? All this.
How
stuff.
did the elves come to Middle Earth?
Right. All that stuff. Well, some relevant. Yeah. But great example. But Hunter x Hunter needs something like that, like some kind of just world compendium.
Can't wait till we get to the Fortnite funny moments.
Wait, is this some kind of like actually like hidden spoiler, or is it like just a pure joke? Like,
do we really want?
Oh,
to know?
okay. It's like, no, of course not.
Oh
shoot!
I also I ended up reading the Berserk manga that was sent.
Cool.
And it's really good.
Top 10 anime betrayals right there. What the heck?
Hey, to be fair, it doesn't really have much of a bearing on the anime itself.
Yeah.
He's already finished it. In fact,
okay.
Besides the first,
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. But besides expanding on the a bit of the beginning, it doesn't really do much because like the Berserk anime kind of differs from the manga in certain areas.
Well, it's an adaptation.
Like where I'm at right now in the manga is when like Griffith has just started to become like actually nobility. You know,
right? Gotcha.
But you know,
that was weird.
Also,
I disconnected for a moment. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Whoa, Devilman.
Recommendations. They just came out with the classic collection, which is this huge, thick, volume thing. Yeah, very. And while it's not bad, I'll just show you the spine. I'm not sure if you could read it. That's another one I could recommend. It's called My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah.
It won like a whole bunch of awards or something like a year or two ago. It's really good.
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool.
Wait, did we have someone? Oh no, okay, it's just oriented.
No, I think
still 10.
I just wanted to make the screen bigger so that I could see
your.
I'm gonna put the chat over this face Joe Mabe has.
No,
It's triggering me.
I got more trigger faces. The stream got me a lot of content.
Joe, the thing is that this is your thing though. No one else will ever be like the embodiment of it. Jacob, stop.
No, we must see
Put it back.
He went through all the effort, Caleb.
Okay, fine.
We can at least respect.
What, all the effort of screen capping a very specific
right, exactly. It's like it's super blurred and everything too. It's not even a great screen cap. Like,
it's because I had to pause in the exact moments to get the exact pick I want.
I got you. I got you.
People just make really weird faces when they're reacting naturally to things.
It's really true.
Exactly.
Yeah. Back in the earliest points of the channel, one of the things that we noticed was our faces weren't necessarily things that we were cluing into because no one was really screen capping us at that point. We didn't have many fans, but people were noticing that we made weird noises, and I would repeat certain phrases over and over and over and over again. To the point where
it was pretty bad.
I removed to an extent from my vocabulary.
I noticed that.
Which is so unfortunate, by the way.
Yeah, it was so bothering me that I realized
started seeding it into my vocabulary in hopes that it will subliminally cause you to start saying it again.
See, Jacob, if you were a girl I liked, then maybe it would actually get into my vocabulary.
But you know how, guys,
that's kind so of unfortunate because we were teasing you with it a bit, but I was trying to stem the teasing because I knew at one point you would break and stop using it. And
I know. And it's too late. It happened. But
I still remember.
It's been replaced by other things, though.
Yeah.
I still remember this. To an extent, a minute later. To an extent, minute later. To an extent, just like
that was.
People can be a lot more ruthless with telling you guys things that you don't really notice about the videos than they are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have each other, so sometimes it's good for us to just kind of laugh at those kinds of things.
Like, what was it? The episode of Ancient Magus Bride where Chise does her Phoenix flight.
Yes.
And there was a point where Caleb was like, okay, I'm not exactly sure what to do for the thumbnail screenshot. And there was one where we were like, this is basically a nut face. Let's not have that one be in there.
Hey, if you need help on thumbnails, I can help. I mean, hey, I got anything.
Hey, there you go. I mean, like, if anything, Joe, we would want at some point, probably actually in August when the Patreon has like a year like anniversary of sorts, we'll do like some kind of dumb like highlight reel thing.
But you know,
and I'll probably commission Rop or something to do it. But if you guys would have like submissions or something, we would have that. That was kind of what the meme video was intended to be, was basically like, all right, people make meme videos of us and stuff, and then that gives us ideas of, oh, these are the highlights in a lot of people's minds.
When people think of like their most enjoyable parts, what do they come up with? You know,
right? Magnets. No. See, that's the one that Gav has like perpetuated to be this thing that's way bigger than it actually is.
I just wanted to say,
guys, to an extent, magnets are good. To an extent, magnets are good.
And to kind of defend that in a way, because like that was one of the things I didn't even help perpetuate in any way. Although I did it to an extent, like. Like, I would totally defend you with the whole magnets thing, because you were arguing that there was a possibility of some more explainable phenomena in Made in Abyss and such, and I was like, that's a completely fair, like,
right. That it would be magnets is something different, but having an explanation.
The thing is, like, he said it like twice, and then people stuck with it. And it was just him.
No, I said it a lot more than
twice. Like, because one of the things,
like I think 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, like I think we told you about this, but this was back when Anime Strike was still a thing.
Yeah.
And we were like, we don't want to do that. So we tried.
So we stuck it to Anime Strike,
and we
got a free trial, and we recorded the entire show of Made in Abyss
in a week.
Yep.
Just so we didn't have to pay them. We were so pissed that like
because
they would localize the content like that. Yeah. And then lo and behold, a month later, Anime Strike was dissolved.
Exactly.
And we're like, yes, we did our part. We're not gonna pay for that garbage.
Except the funny thing is that didn't you forget to like cancel the thing, so it still ended up going through.
Shut up! They didn't need to know that.
You know, I wouldn't search Curb Your Enthusiasm music here. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, exactly. That's the appropriate situation to put it in.
Well, see, there was steal, not copy. And that one I think that one did get a little bit blown up. I think the magnets one is totally funny and stuff.
But we did like what was it when it was first brought up? We brought up the idea that it was stealing, not copying, and we're like, no, but that's stupid. Being able to steal a technique that doesn't even make sense. You know, like why would they suddenly not be able to use it anymore? You know, since everyone has access to the same techniques potentially in Hunter x Hunter unless they're a specialist.
And it didn't matter. I said the wrong thing that the subtitle didn't say. When it was clearly like, it said steal, and it's like, copy.
and wait, it's like there's a million things.
Inverted. Yeah.
There's like a million things to defend your decision to do that, but people got so freaking triggered over a small mistake.
Hunter x Hunter fans get triggered more than like almost any other fandom.
Like
how we react to.
Can I? If you didn't know, a very fun Easter egg about Boku no Hero. It's not spoilers, don't worry. A few characters, minors in even bigger role. Like you remember the snake lady who interned Momo and the girl from 1B. Remember that
snake lady?
Yeah,
the commercial one. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just heard snake, and I'm like,
a few others. One of which is I think is coming in the next arc, or it already came. If you, it's characters from from his previous manga.
Oh,
shot for shot are legit characters from his previous manga.
Like character designs.
Mostly abilities that he decided to imprint into his new work, because his previous one failed and he wanted to pay homage to it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
It's a
I do that all the time. So one of my favorite pastimes as a writing thing is I'll just write characters, and then I'll be like, all right, this character has no setting, so I can put them in anything. So I'll like reuse the same character like 4 times in different settings.
And I think at one point, didn't I catch on to one of them?
No. I think you thought you were catching on to one, and I was like, actually, this one isn't like one of them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You were like, I can smell the reused
I ended
character.
up getting their names mixed up. And you were like, no, those are different characters. I'm like, wait a minute. But are they really?
Names are hard to come up with in a unique way that don't end up sounding repetitive.
That's true.
John. I will name this character John, but he's an elf in a fantasy kingdom. I want to make him John. 300-year-old elf John. And you won't stop me.
And then his last name might be Teeter.
Hey,
that reminds me.
What is there so much fantasy?
Yeah, go for it, Lance.
That reminds me of this. Like, I have this Naruto fanfic from like 8 years ago that's stuck in development hell because I'm like the god of procrastination, and my one friend is super into RP and stuff like that. When we first met, he was like just trying to get all of us into it, and I decided to just co-opt the main character of that fanfic into RP, and then like after that, my writer's urges just kind of started kicking in. I started developing a world around him, and then because like everyone is subjected to world builder's disease, especially when you're not actually writing anything. I was like, all right, here's the like this. I'm going to focus on 4 points of this whole world's history: past, present, future, and like way in the past, and all this other stuff. And I haven't written anything down yet, but every night when I'm bored, just think, all right, here's more world building lore for this one thing I haven't written a single letter down for yet.
Yep, that's a
problem every writer has, honestly. Like you need to force yourself stopping dreaming about the bigger picture. You have characters, please write, and it ended up the SpongeBob meme there, and you just kind of stare at the page with a giant there, and just like, okay, what do I do next?
Yep.
Yeah. One of the problems can also
that's relatable.
To move on with the writing, where sometimes I have the feeling that they write like for many pages, and I'm like, wait, they didn't even move a centimeter. What the fuck am I doing?
Well, I have resolved, since I'm an extreme fan of this fandom, and I really like writing for it, but it's really gory and action packed, and I just kind of okay. So I just there is already enough world building as it is, because it really focuses on it. But but still leaves more place to wonder. So I just fill in the what is void and try to extend the action itself.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Zeno, aka Josh, aka Zeno.
The one that
happy birthday, right?
Yes, thank you.
Hey,
cool.
Feliz cumpleaños.
That's why
I will eat some cake.
So everyone has basically introduced themselves, since there are a bunch of new people on the call, and said their one show that they are currently like actively shilling to everybody.
So your name and your Discord. I already did this. I already did your name and Discord tag. But like, what's the show you're currently shilling? You can do it too. Yeah.
I am Josh, and my tag is Zeno the Wise 135.
Oh, I saw you. I think.
As you might know, I hide behind a trap avatar, so that's fun. My show is, I don't know how many people have already said this, but it's My Hero Academia.
Yeah, that one.
No, you're actually the first person.
Yep.
Everyone else on here has been saying shows that I think they're trying to shill a little bit to us, you know?
Right.
Well, I guess
that's awesome.
Yeah.
If we're saying like, what's your favorite series of all time? I would have to say it's the Fate series. But if you're asking, what am I like currently high on?
Yeah. What are you currently like promoting and shilling and trying to get other people to watch? Yeah.
It would be My Hero Academia.
Yeah, I feel you.
I agree.
My Hero Academia season is something that we hadn't experienced before, because when we watched the first 2 seasons, we just did our usual schedule all the way through, and everyone was like, "Oh, I can't wait for you to catch up. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to get like
honestly, episode 10."
The comments were so ridiculous.
I still remember that moment when the anime was announced by Studio Bones. I think it's Bones. They make it. And like half of the community was kind of skeptical about how the exact adaptation works. I remember half of people who like manga were really apprehensive. But it ended up the way that nobody expected, because it's not only adapted manga page to page, which do not. It expanded on material, fixed writing mistakes, added new content that Horikoshi.
It's a good like first few episodes for like all shonen to kind of just look at and go, this is how you introduce a pretty atypical shonen kind of foundation.
Honestly, I remember the fact that I read really somewhere that Horikoshi himself cried a bit about how good was adapted a certain part. Like
that makes sense.
Not surprising at all.
Not surprised at all. Yeah. That's the kind of thing where you can tell that this guy is a fanboy himself.
Because I don't know if I've said this before, and if I have, well, there are new people here, so if you two have heard it, please forgive me.
No worries.
I've always thought of, like, if you look at a show like Ruby is a love letter from America to Japan, is what I would call it. It's an American's love of anime. Well, My Hero is a love letter from Japan to America, a Japanese man's love of comic books and superheroes.
Yeah. And Star Wars. And Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah.
There's some pretty hilarious references that you're going to get more of, so it's great.
Yeah, we just had
one last thing about
the whole Camino thing, which was pretty funny.
The whole the another thing about this is Horikoshi admitted that the tournament arc, you watched it, it's the second season, first part of it. It was really rushed in the manga, and I will say 50 or 60% of what you have seen in the anime did not happen in the manga because it was skipped over.
Basically, that a lot of the fights between side characters, really brief fights. They were not even in the manga.
Well, here's a little bit of info for you. It turns out that Horikoshi's last series was an absolute flop.
Oh yeah, we know about his previous 2 failures.
I told about the characters from this series that ended up in Boku no Hero Academia, and he was afraid that he would be cancelled, so he tried to rush the most important story moments, but somewhere closer to 100 chapter, he just kind of, okay, this is good. I'm not getting cancelled. I can relax a bit.
That's kind of good, because you can tell, like, when someone puts their whole livelihood into something, it shows in the passion of the created work. But if you're in a work environment or a creative environment where you have to produce results in a set amount of time, it can have like really positive and negative effects. And I think in some ways that kind of helped MHA, because he didn't beat around the bush a lot when it came to making things happen.
Right.
So
it wasn't endless flashbacks like Naruto.
But if you talk about, I am a firm believer that anime only watchers are getting more content than those people who watched manga in the first place. So their experience is more complete, I would say.
I would agree. The only thing that the manga has over anime is just Horikoshi's amazing line work. Other than that, the anime is better.
I think I know an example, and it's the fight with Ida and Power Loader, which was like a quite well, 5 minutes is the fight, and in the manga it's like one panel or 2. That's it.
That makes sense, because the gist of it is communicated. The main panel you actually would really want on something like that is the fusion.
Yeah.
The Ojiro and Ida piggyback ride.
Exactly.
Also, I think interesting thing about the second season too. The very last arc of the second season, the teacher versus student fight, it was very confused in manga. Somebody thought it was the fight started all at once. Somebody thought the fight started not at the same time. Anime decided to make it structured and linear, like one after another. So it was a different thing.
Right. Yeah, we heard about the whole Deku watching them on the screen. Didn't even happen in the manga.
The thing is that at one point, the biggest hint you get that they're all happening at the same time is that when one team passes, the intercom goes off, and people in their other tests hear that intercom go off.
Gotcha.
So that was your clue that they're doing it at the same time.
But it would be too chaotic, so they decided to make a more linear approach to the arc. It didn't change much, but it was good.
There's little things where you can tell that the show was put in the hands of a studio that really cared. Yeah, like they put Bones is just a high quality studio and just in general, but like it's kind of like how you look at, I would say, wait, before I sound like an idiot here. Who did One Punch Man? Bones.
No.
Okay, never mind. Madhouse is gone. Madhouse is crazy.
Well, do you know what they did do? They did Brotherhood.
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah, they did Brotherhood. They did Soul Eater. They did.
And Madhouse headed One Punch Man, but actually it was a collaboration of people from various different studios.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Kind of like Darling in the Franxx is right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, you could tell though that kind of like One Punch Man, the people that were behind it put in a lot of effort for something that might not have gotten that much like positive association with.
And
Yusuke Nakamura.
Back on the apprehensive. Back on fans being apprehensive about the anime adaptation thing. I remember. I remember not knowing exactly what I was going to feel about the anime because, like, the first 2 episodes of the anime is the first chapter of the manga, but it's like
everyone chapter. It's like going to drag on.
Yeah, it's like 40 or 50 pages, like most starting manga chapters are. Mm-hmm. But the big thing being, it's a continuous story instead of being 1 week and then another week when you're first watching it.
Right.
But
right.
I honestly think that splitting it up and having like it be 1 week then another or one episode then another actually benefited it because you had more build up for certain elements of the story.
Like the whole ending the first episode on the can I be a hero too, and All Might just sort of like the over the shoulder look with the smile, like
because you're like, wait, but he's not saying anything
yet.
It's
that like when I saw that I was like, yeah, splitting it up was better.
It's just so good.
Well, yeah, the first 3 episodes,
and the fact that they actually split it between seasons, like JoJo does. I think JoJo does it like just as good as this. They don't do in a continued shot like they do put parts. Like season comes, season ends, season comes, season ends, and it's the same. Boku no Hero actually benefited greatly from the fact that the first season was like 13 episodes, take a break, create the next few arcs, make sure it works.
Studio Period does that is just constant, never-ending filler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that is another big thing. We've looked at with Kavanagh, one of the moderators, really big MHA fan, and he was talking about how because of the way they've streamlined the production of the anime and how just the manga is doing, MHA should theoretically never have anything truly filler related in the production of the anime.
Then they can continue like 5 years or something doing 2 cours a year.
Like they're so on the ball. They're so on the ball that they're actually not just making extra content. They're making extra canon content in the form of a movie.
Right. They're not that's
exactly
just exciting. It's I feel like you guys remember when I first started watching MHA, and I had all this like apprehension about it's a shonen and. Okay.
Well, I believe that the title of the first episode was "A Proper Shonen?" Question mark?
Question mark? Like, is this actually happening? I feel like I can trust MHA enough. Like, I have to be honest. I don't fully trust MHA to go the distance because it's going to be a long-running shonen eventually, like just by the virtue of its success. But I trust it enough to get invested at the level that we're at, like, and that's something that no other shonen.
I mean, to be completely fair,
was able to do. That's why Jacob, you were saying that gives you the Avatar: The Last Airbender vibe,
right? Because if it did,
and it's like its high moments,
right? Yeah.
Can I
to
just
be
say?
Fair, there's like almost 200 chapters by now. So,
oh,
I mean, like that's the thing. It's far ahead in the manga, which I say is good. We're not gonna have a Full Metal Alchemist situation,
right?
But also like that means that this guy who's really passionate fan about all this stuff is getting, to do the thing that he loves to do. So as long as he's having a good time and we don't get a Bleach situation.
Another thing about manga. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but we don't want to talk manga stuff here in terms.
No, that already passed. I mean, it's not in the future that already passed. I'm just pointing out a fun fact that the entire fight between Endeavor and Nomu did not exist.
Oh, right, yeah. We get like dumped with all kinds of little info and stuff like that. That was one of the cool ones because also in the anime we get to see Blue Fire, which is just from a concept of. What can Endeavor do? It was just like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Carbonized cells can't regenerate.
Yeah.
Honestly,
what were we gonna
Endeavor
say,
is weird. Endeavor is
hold on,
really
Max. We had two people who are going to say. So, Josh, what were you going to say?
Sorry.
Basically, all I'm going to say is to end the manga discussion is that you guys, you're worried about MHA going the distance. And all I can say is that my favorite is all for season 4. So basically that means that the best has yet to come in my eyes. So don't worry about your future content. I think it's the far future you need to be worried about.
Well, that's what we mean. Is that Jacob and I talked actually in the
idea of sticking the ending.
Like, was that in the podcast we were talking about? The recording we did the other day.
Yeah,
we were talking about endings in the Q&A bit. We were talking about how we both are a little bit worried about MHA having a proper ending. Because when something gets that successful, you keep kind of pushing the ending out in your mind. But the people who are kind of involved a little bit more in depth with things like that, like Kavanagh, for instance, have been saying like, no, it's Horikoshi, right?
Yeah, Horikoshi.
Horikoshi has a planned ending in mind. Mm-hmm. And in terms of broad strokes, he is going for that. But it's just a question of
how long will it take
to get there. The journey might be a little bit roundabout.
Okay, I just want to say yes. I can't understand what my husband is saying. He's amazing.
What is that?
It's a like a really short show.
It's a short series,
like 3-minute episodes or 5-minute episodes.
Is that the horse?
No.
It's about it's just about the daily life of this wife who's married to this really otaku husband of hers,
right?
And it's just comedy moments, and it's really sweet because it's just they love each other so much.
But they also they are so completely different. Where she'll be like, how do you make a living doing some blog thing or something?
Okay. Like maybe not a reaction series, but
no, because like the whole first season is 40 minutes.
Yeah, let's just watch it. Yeah, it sounds amazing.
It's just fun, and it has some really sweet moments in there too.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
To be honest,
but this isn't the thing with the meme of the guy having the horse thing on his head. And he's like, I am the husband, boy.
Yes, I think.
Actually, that sounds familiar, but I'm not.
Yes.
I don't think it's.
Is that it? Joe Mabe says that's it.
Yes, I think it's in the middle.
I think that's it.
That's it. Yes, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Then I really want to see the original material for that.
Okay.
Prepare to laugh.
It is really funny, but it also has those little sweet moments in there too.
I still want everyone to watch Green Girl Fantasy of Flash. Everyone.
Okay. What was the other one that was mentioned up there? Wotakoi?
Oh yeah, Wotakoi is great.
It's a seasonal recent one.
Yeah.
This season. It's
that's
romance.
Right. It's the Love is Hard for an Otaku.
Oh, we almost put that on the poll, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. We looked at this and we were like,
it was one of those ones where we were like, it looks like it could be good, but it also looks like it could be really cringe and cheesy. So, and we're not sure which it is.
It's like
so we're waiting on it.
Funny. It's very relatable.
Okay.
Yes.
Honestly, can I just mention? You probably guys noticed it too, but Endeavor is really weird.
Yes.
In terms of his quirk, how he's just doing it all the time. Like I don't understand.
Well, that's okay.
That's not the weird thing.
No, that's
not the weird thing. It's how does he interact with other people when he's doing it all the time?
Right.
If he's always on fire, right? Like how? What at his wedding? They're like, you may now kiss the bride, but please don't because you'll burn her alive.
Well, he might have just had the mustache at that time, or just the beard.
But still,
but still, always on fire. Like
one of the things, but one of the things that I don't actually. You know how in JoJo's you're not supposed to take certain things that seriously?
Sure.
In MHA, you're not supposed to take the character designs that seriously. The reason why is because this guy's having so much fun just making really ridiculous character designs. Because in Class 1B, there is a character that has a speech bubble as a head. And as long as that character exists, I don't care about any explanations for any of the character designs. Because that's just stupid. But I love it.
It's not the design. Endeavor clearly showed a lack of any restraint in use of his quirk
against a Nomu.
I mean, he just kind of.
Just the fact that it's always on.
Yeah, it's always on, and the amount of fire he exerts. It's like, what is the weakness here? Well, like everyone has a weakness. What is yours?
Oh, what is his weakness?
His weakness is that he needs to feel like he must, strut his stuff and let everyone see how strong he is.
It's also very easy to come up with a weakness for a fire quirk.
Yeah,
and also I want to point out that considering Todoroki got his portion of the fire portion of his quirk from Endeavor. I'm pretty sure that the weakness to Endeavor's quirk is he gets overheated, but he had this quirk for 30-something years. Of course, he's worked enough where it's not really going to be that much of a bother.
His pores are permanently open.
Yeah. Although I am curious how many accounts of potential arson would be against Endeavor just from walking into a building and accidentally setting something on fire.
Well, when I think of actually Endeavor, those fantasies where the mage has the summoned fireballs behind them, and they're just kind of resting there. It's a training mechanism for that mage or whatever to have control over the fire. So Endeavor is actually training constantly by having the fire there. He's trying to keep it under control. And
that's his entire costume is another extreme way of wait,
what's going on in chat? I'm missing something.
Imagine Todoroki having a half fire beard in 10 years.
I'm sure there's fan art about that. I wonder if Endeavor has forever crispy hot food thinking, and how does he eat ice cream?
Yeah. He goes to eat an ice cream cone, it melts. No.
Surprisingly, Endeavor actually talked on the phone while being on fire. So that's
that's another great question.
Proof one.
He always has it on speaker. He's just like click. Everything's voice activated for him. He's like phone on.
Yeah, and shaving. He shaves fire. Because when he had just the mustache, that meant he had been shaving. So
just an additional detail. Sure. Did you guys know that All Might is 7'2"?
We knew that All Might was ridiculously tall just by looking at him, but we didn't know the exact dimension.
But they said at some point they mentioned his weight, and it was 285 kilograms.
Yeah, we were so he's huge. This isn't a mistake. This isn't one of those character perspective things. This is All Might is actually a giant.
Yeah, he's a giant, and the only closest competitor in terms of pure human is Endeavor.
Well, Endeavor juices that guy. That guy is cheating the system.
No, he uses his quirk to constantly burn calories.
But then he would be smaller.
No, because that's how he stays trim. and then he works out a bunch.
And then he juices.
Well, he doesn't necessarily juice. He just works out a lot. But he keeps at like 3% body fat because he's always burning his fat.
That's kind of similar to everyone saying that Chris Redfield juiced because like in Res 5 he looked like the fucking Hulk. But I would argue, but the whole argument for Chris Redfield looking like that in that game was he's been working out consistently for 10 years straight.
Right. Exactly.
And then he punched a boulder.
Yeah.
Like
Endeavor would probably look like that if he's been working out since he was like in high school consistently.
Oh yeah. I totally know bodybuilders that look like this. Not know personally, but I know, and I'm like, all right, that guy would look like that. But
both of them are like
it's all in the arms though. If you look at Endeavor's arms, the fact that the hands are around the same size as the biceps.
That's just the fact that it's a cartoon,
right?
And, and yeah.
I on Caleb's side of things,
he did skip leg day. Found the fan art. Oh my gosh.
On Caleb's side, on Caleb's side of things, I would also argue that how does he have all this time to work out when he's also working on being the record holder for most missions accomplished?
I mean,
he only sleeps 4 hours a day.
Yeah, he does not sleep. Like
human body doesn't need that much sleep if you train it right.
Now, just the fact that he is extremely how do you say it, stern in his training. He also kills himself in training just as much as he trains everyone else. So it's like for him, high expectations. He put as much of even higher expectation on himself. So he just basically murders himself both in work and.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's basically older Bakugo in that sense. One of the things. Oh, hey, Steve! Hey, glad you could make it.
Steve,
how are you doing?
I feel like the birds in Finding Nemo. Steve. Wait, no, that's the
no. You're thinking of Cloud with a Chance of Meatballs.
No, Steve. I'm thinking of actually the dumb little BBC talking animals things like, oh, that's not Alan. That's Steve. Steve!
Oh,
Steve!
Right. But okay, I might have mentioned this before because like I am a huge fan of both of these dudes, but for Man of Steel, right? The dude who played Superman, Henry Cavill, yeah. He did that in like 6 months. And he like didn't work out a bunch before then. Like
if you see him previously,
like he's in Stardust. If you've seen Stardust, and he's the Humphrey guy or whatever, and he does not look like a big muscly dude at all. But it's like nope. But he did that in 6 months. And then there's the people like what's his face, Khal Drogo.
Oh,
Jason Momoa. Yeah, and it's just like
Aquaman and
Khal
Drogo.
He looks like all the time. He looks like that all the time.
Yeah,
but the thing was, there was a point where he wasn't actually like that. There was a point where he was not that popular, and he still looked good, but he wasn't like thick. You know, like he went from daddy to big daddy, if you know what I'm saying. Like there's a picture where Jason's bodyguards are the mini bosses. Yes, that picture. It just exemplifies
someone has a thing, I see.
Well,
it's like workout goals. Like
it's workout goals.
It's
ridiculously unobtainable, you know, for most of us. But
or at least we think it is. But then it's like Henry Cavill did that in 6 months. Now, granted, he probably went.
Why does everyone have to mention Jason Momoa? Because he good.
Oh my god, we were at a party.
She's just really unfortunate in terms of films he gets himself into.
Oh, sure.
I'm not sure about that.
Just because he's in the DC universe.
Oh, gotcha. I gotcha. Sorry, what were you trying to say, Chaos?
Yeah. I mean, since my friend actually ruined Jason Momoa for me. I didn't even know him because I was not watching the Game of Thrones. I was reading it, and I'm not watching DC at all.
Okay,
and the story.
Me neither, really.
And he was mentioning Jason Momoa when we were at a friend's wedding.
Right.
He was just wasted, and he was like, "Okay, guys, he's a proud Hungarian traditionalist guy with a wife," and he was like, "Yeah, guys, I have to say." I have to say, after seeing Jason Momoa with his guards, I imagine him like a boss with, minions, and I would defeat all his minions just to give him a blowjob.
Yep, I knew that was where the joke was going. I'm like, what kind of sexual things is he wanting to do to Jason Momoa?
Welp.
Wow. I guess we found the follower in your friend there.
Jason Momoa is ruined from that moment for me. So.
Because all you can see is your buddy blowing him after having defeated his minions. Oh,
imagine just a showdown. I will defeat you all. It's like some kind of
with the power of my resolve. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's the dumbest yaoi fanfic.
Now all I could think of is like an entire like Enter the Dragon style.
Oh no!
And then the very last scene.
I think we're killing Jacob here. Like he's cringing.
I can't close my eyes now. Like,
I mean, just imagine like the shonen hero with crazy hair, super abilities, just like I will defeat you all, and defeats all, and just like have sex with me.
that kind of works actually if you think about the plot. Like hook.
That sounds like a female targeted hentai.
No. Think about it this way, because like the guy is saying like I need to get stronger so that I'm worthy for my senpai. Like if I'm not strong enough, if I'm not like
oh my god, just like I was eating chili and I choked on my chili, and then Steve's like, "Is that what they call it?"
God, Steve, like you never show up, and at the very at the proper moment, then you're like, hey, dropping some spicy memes. Here we go.
Literally.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so changing topics.
Yeah,
all the way.
I'm actually going to write that. I'm actually going to.
All right. Okay, well, hold off on telling us about that. I would like to know, since we're coming up towards the end here. I'm going to be taking some notes here, but like, what is some feedback regarding the whole Maid Madness events thing that you would like to give us? I am all ears.
If you're planning on doing streams relatively consistently, I think it'd be a good idea to like warn people in advance.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was one of the things I was thinking about too.
Maybe even have it like on a consistent day if
consistent day.
Ooh,
that's what I was leaning towards as well, is having essentially a designated day, because for Jacob and I that would work so much better in terms of just scheduling things out. But it's also prep for actual Twitch stuff, which will be it will be a designated day or two. It will not be a when are they going to be on Twitch? Who knows? You know,
consistency.
It'll be very consistent. That's like one of the most important things about our channel is staying consistent. So yeah, good feedback.
If you guys have any weird ideas for videos, I imagine that like just posting a video different from your standard content every once in a while would be appreciated as a breath of fresh air.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Gav doesn't want the antagonist ascendancy to go away.
So that's one thing that I would like to just pose as a question. If you don't have anything more than like a yes or a no, that's fine. Just let me know in the chat. Would you do this again? Not saying like anytime soon, but like at any point in the future, would you do something like this again? And would you like it if the factions were completely reset, like rinsed out and essentially like exchanged for something else or new ones or what have you?
Instead of yes or no, maybe an idea of sorts. Have a whole bunch of different faction names and factions and stuff, and see if people would be privy to this, but a rotation of 4 factions every time an event ends. Like,
sure.
When the event ends, just rotate to another 4 factions or do another policy what 4 factions would be more popular and just reset it to that.
Okay, yeah, that was something actually that Matt and I were talking about.
A man after my own heart.
Yeah, is having essentially I think rotation was actually used as the word was actually used. Yeah, so having something along those lines. Okay, Vragos, I think the faction system itself is good. Like having teams and such motivates each member to such contribute to it. But that was primarily the point of it. And the other thing of it was to make the communities people seem a little bit less intimidating. It did have on some level another side of it where it was actually intimidating because people were so passionate about it.
Right.
But on the other side of things, there were a lot of lurkers that found that interacting with 15 people at a time was easier than interacting with potentially 75 to 100 people at a time.
Yeah.
You know, so it worked on that level, but yeah, we're going to have to streamline that whole thing. But make the community great again. Oh my gosh. But yeah, overall, I'd love just yes or no on this. Like, would you do this again? Like, say it was like a while from now, like 6 months to a year. Like, would you do it again?
Yeah, I think I would do it again. It needs to be. I mean, we obviously need to rebalance things pretty hard.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
but other than, like, I think the base concept works and it serves its purpose and it's functioning. It just has pieces that need to be rebuilt.
Right. It was a beta. It was an open beta, and we just threw it out there. What is alpha testing? No, we just go straight to beta.
That's exactly what it felt like. You're playing the beta.
Yeah, when the factions just vanish after Make Madness is over. I have no idea what you were talking about. No, he's talking about
Trap King, Trap Queen, Jack, Joker, 1 through 10, different suits.
We'll be an army. I see. That's the kind of creativity that I think will be inspired now, because the first time we did this, people were like, "Huh, I can't envision this. I don't see like what this is." And then they go, "Oh, it's something like this. Ah, this is the thing I've always wanted to do." And then when we ask for faction name ideas, but we will be like, we will bring the meme lords back. They will win this time.
Well, will the factions disappear after May Madness is over?
Yes and no. That's going to be more of a we'll see. I think the primary thing that we'd want is to have people have maybe their roles, but we would disseminate like the faction channels, the faction specific channels. Like we would move things towards more of having a kind of an open period where that's not happening, so that people will essentially like have that thing of like, oh, I kind of miss the like that thing there. So that
the art grow fun,
so that when we bring it back, it will be back in full.
Right, like Gav, it's not like it's not like if the AA chat disappears, you're all gonna be like, well, we can't talk to each other anymore.
Yeah, and let's be real. I mean, as antagonists, we would expect nothing less than to have a
like there's already, what is that, Weeb Watchers?
There's like there's another server that has a bunch of AA members that I'm on, where we just have game night for like Jackbox games.
See, that's awesome.
Exactly.
Like one of the things we want to encourage is that community itself spawns from the interactions that are related to this Discord, but they don't have to happen
all on this Discord.
all on a channel like on this Discord.
Right, exactly.
They could happen in the DMs. They could happen in a random server that you guys make. Like,
I'm really bad at consistently appearing in Discord. I'm just
that's okay.
That's
this
totally
is
fine.
Yeah, this is more of a thing of where like the people that are like, they spend a lot of time here. There's probably about 3 dozen people that are almost like living on this server, and it's kind of cool because I really Lunar. Well, you just look at the top like 30 people in Tatsumaki. You're like, whoa, there are some people that are here a lot.
Right, or like how Ryu is almost always in a voice channel.
Yeah.
I don't even need to type. I don't need to type T exclamation point top anymore. People just do it, and I see my role anyway.
Yeah.
You're like the high wall in Haikyuu that Hinata wants to jump over. It's like, eventually, I will get up there. And you're just looking on high, just like, yes.
And we all know that no one will ever make it, but they like to dream.
See, like the second I see people
never say never.
The second I see people start like being more active, I'm like, let's make the wall higher. Like,
and this is to go even further beyond.
Okay. If that happens, someone like tries to be really active, try to drone me, and then I just keep going more and more active. Someone needs to make that a GIF. Or
like just like it's gonna be Ryu and you in like a year. Like in 6 months to a year, you guys will be the biggest like people on the Discord, and then there'll be like you guys just going at it, and there's one other person that'll just join in, and in like 3 months or something, they'll get to like the top 10, and people will be like, "Nutty," and then you guys will have to band together to like shut down the upstart. Oh, Exercy right now is one of the biggest one because he is.
I think he's been around longer.
He's been around a very long time. Like he was first like dozen or first 20 members of the Discord. Like same with like some of the others that are really high up there but aren't actually as active. Like Vid is like way high up there, but that's because he was in the Discord from like the beginning. And stuff. But hey, okay, I really like to hear any little random things that you would like to see in a future iteration of this kind of event. Like I really am like listening to these things. So I would love to know.
I'm just all a numbers guy. I'm just all about like numbers and balancing. I'm not your creative person. I'm the person who looks at your point values and be like,
Well, then that's actually going to be the cool thing is I'll present you with the features and I'll say, number this crap. Like, get me some game systems that like.
I was sitting there afterwards. I was like reading those rock paper scissors point values, and I was like, what is this? This wasn't beta tested at all.
How about like, each faction gets like a representative that's like active enough in these events and a decent enough rider, and like we have kind of like we have the same thing as like the stand battles, but it'll be themed around the 4 factions. Like it'd be 4 different organizations fighting.
Okay, so one of the things that Matt came up with way back when, and this didn't end up being a part of the event, was having lore for the factions in particular.
Interaction being the factions being like a consistent interactive sort of story-ish with lore would brighten up the show, definitely.
Yeah, I think that would be a very fun like flavor thing. The bit that would be a little bit different would be that when we wouldn't have say 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 with like longevity, it would be like we're going to have constantly like different names and different ones tried out and stuff, is maybe having some kind of way to remember like which ones you did participate in.
Yeah.
So like
keep track of which ones are the most popular and stuff. That way, like, we can sift out the ones that people don't like as much.
Right, for sure.
I think it's a good idea, even if we do get rid of the factions, to keep the roles as just like badges of honor almost.
Yeah, I kind of blew my proverbial load with regards to the title ideas though. Like these were the best ones of like a bunch of really dumb role ideas that I had for those. And there are people like Gav out there who have almost every conceivable
I mean, eventually we'll just click on Gav on the profile and just fill the entire Discord because it's just all the roles.
No, it actually has like a show more thing after a certain point. Like it's like it's like all these roles, and then at the bottom it's like +12 with a little color circle there, and you're like, do I want to click that? I don't know if I want to.
Daenerys Targaryen, Stormborn, Mother of Dragons, Breaker of Chains, Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea.
First of her name, yeah.
And it's like Jon Snow.
Gav doesn't know anything.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I think I would take off specific roles that were like like minor ones, but like some of the ones that were, a little bit bigger and stuff, maybe keep those around.
And maybe have like a hall of fame for like, so that after the titles are all cleared off, we can say like, these are the titles awarded from, the competition of this month or something.
Right. So like the antagonist ascendancy role would maybe stick around and stuff, but like the titles within
right.
So like the waifu warriors have like, I like pink and trash, and
Gav's like, wait, you're not taking away the legendary.
Who knows? Like
about anything but roles.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, okay, this is just something random, but even if we don't do it on here, so since I am very actively shilling A Silent Voice, and apparently some of you haven't seen it, I will happily be on the Discord after this to basically just watch the trailer and then just to help convince you guys to watch it, because it's really good.
For my end, like, I don't know, I've been in this weird area where it's like I've read most of the manga, so I kind of want to read the manga first, but then that's no excuse to watch the movie. And then on the other end, it's like maybe I'll watch the movie at one point.
Good man, Saros.
I missed the name of the thing you want to show.
A Silent Voice. Yeah.
Man, when is that coming out on Blu-ray?
Oh. Never.
I
don't know. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah. Apparently, the UK already has it. But
see,
so the UK has those of you in the UK, what you gotta do is for the unboxing video.
Hey, what happened to the pig?
But it'd have to be an actual like Region 1 or like Universal Regions like copy.
Oh, it doesn't even play?
In order for us to be able to play.
That's so stupid.
Or you guys can get a Universal Region Blu-ray player.
Yeah, like I did with my computer. I just have to switch software on the software, and that's it.
That's not bad.
I wonder if there's a way we can make Silent Voice the next movie night.
That would be amazing.
I think we could. The problem is that where are we watching it?
Right.
YouTube.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
On that other end, since we're all VIPs and we're on a call and movie night's the next thing, any suggestions?
Yeah, go for it. Suggest away. If it's on Netflix, that makes it very easy.
Show? The original, yeah. That's a good one.
Okay.
Any of the standard stuff anyone good with, or is that kind of a cop out?
What do you mean, like Ghibli or Wolf Children, or
like Akira, Ghost in the Shell, Ghibli?
I've never actually seen Akira.
Akira's a good one.
You haven't seen Akira?
Redline. That's a crazy visual extravaganza.
Like
Some
5
Wars,
centimeters
that's great.
per second.
Yeah, 5 centimeters per second's good. Your Name's good.
There's like a whole bunch of movies I have to see.
You guys see Sort of the Stranger?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, that final fight, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ew.
What?
Oh, that's
one of the movies.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Only yesterday.
Gretzico.
Children of who chase lost voices.
Oh, I've heard of that one. I don't know really much of anything about it, but
it's Makoto Shinkai's Ghibli film.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's another Makoto Shinkai work. Which,
all right.
If you guys haven't seen all of them, then we could just post those as like.
He does good work.
Yeah. We could just post all of his stuff on the movie nights and watch the work.
For sure.
Yeah, I remember the first time I watched Garden of Words, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, it's so great!"
Watch out, Michael. Maybe we do it too.
You guys watch some of the Type Moon stuff in the form of Fate. We could watch all the Garden of Sinner stuff.
Yeah, there's 7 of those. So
yeah,
I haven't seen those.
It's in the same universe.
Princess Bride, Boy and the Beast. Yeah.
Yeah, the main thing will be making sure that we can do
Jinro, Wolf Brigade,
do whatever
Hat
it is,
Labor,
but I'm all for it.
Yeah.
No worry, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right,
the
guys.
Last Airbender movie. Good point, Gav. Yeah.
Ha! Clearly the greatest
cinema.
The greatest movie.
Heaven's
of all
Feel.
time.
How would we like that? That would be potentially a fun one. Because
how would we do that?
Yeah, I don't know how, but
it's not on Netflix.
No.
Hopefully it will answer itself soon once someone picks it up.
Watch it on a Christian channel and maybe not actually.
Shinji.
Summer Wars is great. I love Summer Wars. Summer Wars is not like, the greatest, like one of the greatest anime movies out there, but it's just so wholesome and wonderful. Like I really enjoy the feeling I get after watching.
It's just fun.
Your Name?
Yeah, that's I've seen that a couple times.
It's another Makoto Shinkai one.
I could watch it again.
Oh yeah. I mean, anyone could watch Your Name again. Absolutely.
Pretty
gorgeous.
Yeah.
How about
we just start compiling a list, like make like a comment and then pin it in VIP, and then just
start editing it as you go.
Yeah, just adding stuff to it.
And then what do we do, like a roulette wheel or something for that month till we just go through the list?
I think the main thing would be like just kind of keeping the list really large so that we have a lot of things to show on.
Or a VIP poll.
A VIP poll would be hilarious because like this one got 5 votes. It wins, Like, whoa, it actually got 5, and all the other ones tied with 2.
But I think the other thing is that it's the idea. Well, okay, since everything would be getting like 5 votes, sure. But one of the things that's fun is basically being able to show people new movie like that they haven't seen. So most of the time, people would probably vote for things they have seen. So maybe a poll wouldn't necessarily be the best.
Yeah, I think having us maybe have a little bit more say in choosing which one because of the convenience problems that can come about when it's not.
How about
not simple for us to get a hold of it.
How about we just compile a list of things every time it gets close to that? You get like 5 of them, and then we just kind of talk amongst each other and be like, "Are we? Which movie is most of everyone in the mood for this month?"
Sure,
and then maybe every once in a while you get themed, like Tokyo Godfathers in December.
Right. You could even do something where it's like, okay, for this month, every VIP person picks one movie that's going to be in the poll or something like that. That way it's like, okay, and then we basically go from there.
Mm.
Yeah, good thing that none of this is going on the channel though, Sarah. So we're not getting striked or anything through this.
The movie was it's like all those idol shows and so on. Mm-hmm. And idol shows usually have like a shit ton of licensing stuff. And it's a free movie. So there you go. If you would upload this to YouTube, would probably get shut down very fast. And it's the
3 strikes from one video. That doesn't seem physically possible.
And I think it's also from
23 strikes.
Explained to Jacob on one call thing with King Records being extremely strike happy. And it's I think the movie's from them. There you go. That's why I made the joke.
Gotcha.
And you know that thing where like they tell you what like clip or what second that it got striked? It'd literally be every single frame of the video got a separate strike.
Seriously.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we have to call it for now.
Great talking to all of you.
It was really cool talking with you. Thank you very much for those of you that are coming back or new. Like, it's really cool to have you all here.
Glad you guys could make it.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, before that was the thing you said about Congar Fantasy Smash Skills. Like, leaves a happy man. Hey, there you go, Joe. You being a batter, Caleb, you should be familiar with striking. I haven't played baseball in a long time, actually.
Oh, no, Joe was actually asking a question. What was the thing that you said? You mentioned apparently you mentioned something before about Grimgar.
Oh, Caleb.
What was the thing you said about Grimgar finishing it? Oh, it was just that I remember that you recommended that to us a long time ago, and I don't think it ever got really very far in the recommendations and such.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Caleb, you should put like at like $100 million or $50 million Patreon goal, funding your own Ultimate Frisbee anime.
See, this is the thing though.
Per month, when we get that per month.
Yeah. I think what I would actually do is I would say, like I would put like a stupid number, but it would be like actually feasibly possible, not like that. And then I would go as to be like, I'm going to approach these people, and we're going to instigate the making of a Ultimate Frisbee anime.
Hey, the only reason I popped up with 50 million is because that's literally how much it would take to make like a full 24 episode.
50 million?
Yeah.
What?
No way.
Like, okay, yeah. No. 50 million yen. My bad.
Okay. All right.
So I was like, that doesn't sound like U.S. currency.
Right. I was like, so you're saying there's a chance? Like,
I was getting confused in my head.
So
it would take like
$500 million to make an anime. Okay.
Wait.
Goals.
Yeah. Seems about right.
Because 50 million yen, that'd be about $500,000.
Oh, $500,000? If you think,
Caleb, if we ever get to the point where we're like thinking we should buy a house, we won't. We'll just keep living in an apartment. We'll buy it. We'll like get an anime going. Like that could work, right? You get like you go to a bank and you say like, I need a mortgage for what? For an anime.
What's your credit score? That's not important.
Non-existent.
Right.
Look, it's gonna be like Haikyuu, okay?
Yeah, you don't understand. It'll be like Haikyuu.
Just watch this show, all right, and see how awesome that is. Okay.
You send them home. The next, like over the weekend, they come back and they're like, "I'm in love. We're making this." Like, I want 5% or I want 25%. I'm like,
who did Haikyuu again?
Production IG.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just go to Production IG. Yeah, you remember that volleyball anime you did? Can you do an Ultimate Frisbee one this time?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think is Haikyuu an anime original?
No,
it's not. Anime, there needs to be a character that cheats by putting magnets into the frisbee in his hand.
Haikyuu is not an original. It's a long-running manga that is currently one of the best ones in the Shonen Jump.
It's like top 5 in Shonen Jump.
Yeah, we've seen the chart where it's like high school students in volleyball clubs. Haikyuu starts, the manga goes up. Anime starts, goes way up.
No, I would.
Did he copy the magnets? No, he still.
There was a thing about when the biking anime Yawamushi Pedal started. It just surged people biking in Japan tremendously. So I imagine Haikyuu did similar stuff with volleyball. I imagine high school kids are just going to volleyball left and right now.
That's why I want the Ultimate Frisbee anime. But hey, guys, I'm sorry. I do have to run.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for jumping on the call here.
You guys.